This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, Franklin County. We are continuing our series of discussions and interviews with very important players during this COVID crisis. I am very, very grateful to be joined this morning by Teri Anderson, the Executive Director of MassHIRE Franklin, Hampshire Career Center. I'm a proud member of the Board of Directors of this absolutely incredible agency. And we work together quite a bit. We share the common goals of economic health and business support in Franklin County, and they have the added area of Hampshire County. So Teri, welcome. It's always nice to see you. You know, your agency in good times is critically important. During bad times, I can't even imagine what it's like for you right there, given that the economy's been good, unemployment's been low. I know that some of your funding and programs had been cut a little bit, and then all of a sudden we fell off this cliff. And I know that this has got to be just an unbelievable time for you, and there's so much we could cover. But I wanted to start, did you want an opportunity to just talk a little bit about the agency just in general, maybe before we got into some of the discussion about the COVID response?
Sure, I can give a brief background. So the MassHIRE Franklin Hampshire Career Center is part of a statewide network of career centers under the MassHIRE brand. We serve Franklin County, Hampshire County, and the North Quabbin region, including 4 communities in Worcester County. We provide career services. We assist people in applying for their unemployment assistance, and we connect employers and job seekers.
Which is one of the ways that we work with you most often. As people know who follow the chamber online or just in general, we do a lot of business tours. And when we go out and visit some of our larger employers, our large manufacturers, we always include Teri or someone from your agency in that. And there's really always it's so interesting to see you, Teri, interact with some of these employers and how exciting it is when you realize that, you know, there can be some opportunities created for residents there. It's one of my favorite parts of my job. So you mentioned unemployment. This is something, you know, I'm speechless. It's hard to believe what's happened. And I would just love to hear from you how your agency is responding. What can people, specifically for employees or community members who may find themselves with reduced hours or out of a job or temporarily out of a job, what can they do and how can your agency help them?
Sure. So let me say first that the career centers are all considered essential services under the governor's order. We are open for business, but not for in-person services. So our career centers are closed to the public, but we continue to provide our services via phone and email and web services like this. We operate during our normal business hours. And as you say, we've had a complete reversal in terms of very low unemployment to now extremely high unemployment. And so the demand for our services has increased significantly. For people who have been working and employed, the fastest way to apply for unemployment assistance is online at mass.gov/DUA for Department of Unemployment Assistance. They also now have the teleclaims call center up and running as of last week. And that phone number is 617-626-6800. And now people can call and get assistance over the phone if they are unable to apply online. In addition, especially in our region, because we have so many people who don't have access to the internet or access to a computer, we have unemployment assistance staff in the Career Center who can help people apply online also. So if they're not able to apply online or to get assistance from the state call center, or if there's some issue with their claim, then people can certainly call the Career Center, and one of our unemployment assistance staff people will call them back in order that we receive the call and try to help them resolve the issue over the phone. We have permission from the state to help for people who don't have access to the internet. We can open a claim for people, and while they give us information over the phone. We were inundated with calls. We were a week behind in returning calls to people. Last week when the call center opened up at the state level, that has relieved some of the pressure on us. So I would recommend that people try that first, and then if they are not successful, to contact the Career Center for assistance.
That's great. Can you say the phone number for the Career Center?
I can. It's 413-774-4361.
Excellent. I will say that I talked with someone personally at the end of last week who was having an issue with their unemployment being processed, and they called that 617 number. A real person answered, and the problem was taken care of immediately over the phone, and the checks will be starting to come in. So that really is a great resource. But thank you so much for being a resource for the local people that need it for a variety of reasons that you pointed out. We really can't thank you enough for all of that. So we keep hearing about PPP, this program that's paying businesses to keep their employees. Are you at all involved in that process?
Well, only in so much as that on our website at MassHIRE, fhcareers.org, we have two information and resource pages, one for employees and job seekers, and one for businesses. So on the business page, we have links to the Small Business Administration and to the IRS that instructs people on how to, businesses on how to apply for the payroll protection program. Unfortunately, though, I think I just heard that I think that program has temporarily run out of funds. I'm encouraging businesses and organizations to continue to apply for that if they can. And hopefully Congress will refund that program soon. But there are links to those programs as well as many other resources on our website. So I would encourage people, again, to go to MassHIRE, fhcareers.org.
Great. We have that on our website as well, franklincc.org. Those links are on there. I did hear on the news this morning that I believe that there's federal legislation that they're hoping to have finalized by Wednesday that would allocate more funds to that program, because that was obviously well received by businesses nationally. So that's really great. So we should talk about businesses because, you know, we're in the business of supporting businesses of all sizes. So there's also things that you can do to help businesses at this time. I know I've always been really impressed with the rapid response team that you have that has been around to help businesses that find themselves in a crisis. That's a lot of businesses right now. So I'm just curious how you're able to support businesses through the rapid response team or any other programs right now.
I'm happy to talk about that, but I want to talk about one other thing first that applies to self-employed businesses.
Oh, yes.
Anyone who is self-employed, an independent contractor, a gig worker, a freelance worker, have been waiting very patiently because these people are ordinarily not eligible for regular unemployment assistance. So under the Federal CARES Act, they have provided additional funding to states that will help people who are self-employed receive unemployment benefits for 39 weeks. And I'm happy to say that in Massachusetts, as of today, April 20th, that assistance is available, and people who are self-employed can start applying online and through the teleclaim center. And I'll repeat that information in a minute. So this program applies to people, again, who are self-employed, independent contractors. It also applies to people who are ordinarily not eligible for unemployment assistance, like people who work for religious institutions, people who are seeking part-time work as opposed to full-time work, people who have exhausted their benefits. So essentially anyone who's not eligible for regular unemployment assistance can also apply for this, what they're calling pandemic unemployment assistance, or PUA. The online system for that application is separate from the regular unemployment insurance online application. It's a separate link. The phone number to the call center is the same, and there are two separate tracks, one for people who are applying for regular unemployment and one track for people who are applying for this pandemic unemployment assistance. So again, the phone number is 877-626-6800. And online, the best site to go to, and I have these links on our website as of this morning, the best page to go to is the pandemic unemployment how to apply page, because it gives you all the background information on how to be eligible. It has a number of handouts, including a guidebook on how to apply. It includes a list of the required documents that people are going to need to apply to document their income and your social security number, etc. There's also a checklist of eligibility so that you can self-determine whether or not you think you should apply. And then there's also a flow chart that sort of explains, are you eligible for regular unemployment insurance, or are you eligible for this pandemic unemployment insurance? And what I would say is that for people who applied for regular unemployment insurance and were denied, that you should apply for the pandemic unemployment insurance and see if you're eligible there. And again, there's a link on our website. Let me just give you this one. It is mass.gov/how-to/apply for pandemic unemployment assistance. And again, the best thing is to go to our website, MassHIRE, fhcareers.org, because the names of the links are very long at the state. Or you can find your way to mass.gov DUA and find your way to it as well, but it's a little more direct from our website.
Well, thanks for including that, because that's really important information, particularly in Franklin County, where we have so many self-employed people. That's going to be just really so helpful for them. So thank you for that. So getting back to the businesses, we were starting to talk about how you can help businesses and what help is out there for businesses right now.
Yes. So you mentioned the rapid response team. This is a state service that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts offers to businesses who are in distress. So if a business is downsizing or laying off, the state rapid response team will help them through this process, and they will help their employees through this process. So there is a Western Mass team, and again, there's a link on our website to their email address and to their phone number, and I can give you that if you want me to state that over our webinar. And they have a team in Western Mass that will help with local businesses to help them through all this process. In addition, for businesses who don't want to lay off their employees entirely and are able to keep them on part-time, the state will cost share with them. So the employer can reduce their employees' work hours between 10 and 60%, and the state will, through the unemployment system, pay for the part-time work that for the reduced hours. And that's called the work share program. And the rapid response team, you can apply online through your business unemployment insurance account. But if you have any questions or are uncertain about it, the best thing to do is to call the rapid response team, and they can walk you through it. because there is an online help email address for people, for employers that have questions about the unemployment assistance program, but it's probably faster to call the local Western Mass Rapid Response Team.
Now that whole program existed pre-pandemic. Has it been funded at any higher levels since this crisis began?
The Federal CARES Act did include additional funding to the states to support the rapid response teams.
Okay.
I don't know whether or not that funding has come through yet, but yes, there should be additional funding to support that.
Okay, great.
Right,
That's
now,
great to know.
There's no risk of them closing down. They're in high demand and they're there to help. Yeah.
I'm sure they're in high demand. I can't even imagine. So, we find ourselves in this difficult time with so many businesses needing to lay off some of their employees or all of their employees. But we also know that there are some businesses that are desperately trying to hire people during this crisis. And I assume that your agency is helping coordinate some of that effort as well. So what can people do to find out what businesses might be hiring and how they go about trying to apply to those places?
Sure. So yes, there are many employers that are hiring even during the pandemic crisis. Our Career Center continues to work with employers to help them post their jobs. And we have 3 hot jobs lists that are updated daily and posted to our website. We also print them out daily and put them in the hallway outside our office in our building at 1 Arch Place in Greenfield for those people who don't have access to a computer to look at those documents online. So again,
and that facility is open right now for them to go look at just the postings.
It is. Today, the office is closed because it's a holiday, but
Right.
every other day, yes, those postings are updated and posted to our website daily and also printed out daily. And there are a few printouts that are on the bench outside our office.
Okay, great.
We have 1 list for the Pioneer Valley, which includes Franklin County, Hampshire County, and Hamden County, because we share employees and businesses back and forth. We also have 1 list for the Orange Atoll area, the North Quabbin area. And then we also have a list for the Greater Ware area, which is part of our service area as well.
Wow, that's great. So, so there's there's so many things and so many different people that your agency can help with, as always. But it's just so much more needed and so much more appreciated during this time. So, I just really want to thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you wanted to mention during the interview? Any information people should know, whether they're individuals, businesses, anything like that?
Sure. To businesses, I would add that the other service that we offer is recruitment assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So in addition to posting their jobs on our website and also to the state database, which is called JobQuest, we can help people, businesses with recruitment. So we are now in the process of trying to figure out how we can offer virtual job fairs. And to do remote job matching. So we use our database of unemployed customers to match businesses with job openings that they have at their facilities. And people can contact our biz team, our business services team, through the Career Center by calling our main number. Again, that's 413-774-4361. Or they can find information about the biz team on our website as well.
That's great. So, I think a lot of us now, we've been in sort of response mode and trying to figure out how to best respond as a whole community to this, both from a health aspect and an economic aspect. And I think a lot of people are now starting to turn their thoughts to recovery mode and what that looks like. So your agency is just going to be so critical, Teri, in the months to come as businesses can start to reopen, bring back employees. You know, maybe look for other employees, because some people may not have been able to wait, and you know, so it's going to be really interesting to see what people need in the coming months. And I know that your agency will be right there, you know, adapting and rising to the challenge as you always do. So we really appreciate that. I just can't tell you, you know, how much of a treasure I consider your agency as in my role at the chamber. But I really know that community-wide you're really valued. So I thank you so much for coming on. You've given so much useful information and great resources for people to go to maybe dive a little bit deeper into some of these things. So thank you, Teri. And we wish you well in these months. I can't imagine, I just can't imagine what it's like dealing with this from your agency. So,
well, we have a lot of support from the State Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development, and they're doing a great job, and we look forward to being able to continue to assist both businesses and workers as we do move into the recovery phase. So
that's really great. And
share information today.
And you also have a really tremendous team there at your agency. Everybody is just top notch. I enjoy working with them so very much. So Teri, be well. Thank you for what you're doing for our community. It's appreciated. And we'll talk to you soon. As things change, if we need to update this conversation a little bit, we'll make sure we do that.
Sounds good. Happy to do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Teri.
Yeah, bye-bye.